Okay, so welcome. It is July the 24th or the 25th for our Australians. And we're going to have some time to all introduce ourselves and respond and give our thoughts on this talk. But first, we'll just center and see how the phrases of our mantra land for you today. So we'll start by feeling our feet on the ground. And also your seat, the points of connection with the earth. And just notice what it feels like to connect with the earth when you start to open your awareness to your connection, the way your body is not separate from the earth, the sort of interconnection between your energy and the earth's energy. Start to sense into that spaciousness and openness and vastness that's always available and present for you. And then feeling the support of the earth underneath you, lengthen from the base of your spine up through the crown of your head, lengthening up through the back of your head. Let there be space between your teeth. Feel your tongue float in your mouth. Your elbows drop directly underneath your shoulders. And then rest in the spaciousness of your body. And then let your attention rest on your breath coming into your lower belly. And then just notice how the phrases of our mantra wash over you right now, knowing that there's no right or wrong or better, best way for it to land in your body today. Remembering that I am intrinsically good without exception, and that I have been given this precious opportunity of my unique life, I find ways to engage in daily practice in my everyday life. When I open to the vastness, stillness, silence, peace, and stability of the earth, that vastness, stillness, silence, peace, and stability opens into my body and being. Remembering that my heart is open, tender, and responsive, I enter into my relationships as a part of my daily practice in my everyday life. And so as we transition now into the talk that I have for you today, just remember our guidelines for our circle here today are to practice loving kindness and nonviolence by speaking from our own experience, using the words I instead of you, and knowing that each person here is connected to their own internal wisdom and guidance, knowing that we don't need to fix or change anybody, rescue them in any way, knowing that each one of us is already whole and complete, and that there's no need to give advice or fix or change anybody, particularly given the talk that we're going to do today. This July, and actually we're going to carry our theme through August as well, we're focusing on the 3 jewels. And in Buddhist terms, these are the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And in the yoga world, we know them, maybe are more familiar with them as our true nature or our awakened nature. I like to think of it that way. The teachings is the Dharma, and our community is the Sangha. And these 3 things are inextricably linked. And today I wanted to speak about, go back to our true nature, because there's just been some things floating around in our community that I've been seeing in the forum, and that there's just been some kind of veils of confusion around our true nature. And that happens. And there's no shame in that, because it's like we need to be reminded of this again and again. That's why we have the teachings, and that's why we have the community. That's why those 3 things come together. But also just, generally in social media, seeing just the way true nature or our awakened nature gets packaged and sold, and even in the media in general and in the commercial media, the way our true nature gets packaged and sold. It's just been giving me a little pause lately. And so I wanted to go back and just kind of set the record straight again, because I think we need to do that again and again and again. And I think we need another voice out there, and I'm going to be that voice. So when we say those phrases, remembering that I'm intrinsically good, and that refers to our true nature, our awakened nature. Good doesn't mean good or bad. It refers to our opened and awakened nature. And it doesn't mean that we have to get over all our bad stuff to become good so that we're awakened or that we connect to our true nature. It's like, that's just not how it goes. So when we repeat those words, remembering that I'm intrinsically good, it's not that there's any bad. We're actually referring to the phrases that we say about relationships, about being open, tender, and responsive. And that means that we're open to our life as it is, without adding on all these kind of thoughts that we might have about it, or ideas that we might have about it, that life should be this way or life shouldn't be that way. And then tender means that we know intuitively what needs to happen. And then we're responsive, in that we can respond without judgment or reservation. That's what basic goodness means. Not good or bad, but open, our awakened nature, our true self. And it's not like, God, there's just so much dogma out there about having to get beyond bad to become good. And that's not it. So the thing is that we tend to get confused, and we cover over our basic goodness. And we get confused because we start to identify with the way that we're covering over our awakened nature, or our true self, or our true nature. And so we start to think that we're the coverings and not our true nature. So the example that often gets used is this, the sun versus the clouds. So the sun would be the true nature. Okay, so say this is the sun, and the clouds would be the coverings. So we start to think we're the clouds and not the sun. And the 2 ways that we cover over our true nature are the veils of conflicting emotions. And these aren't new things. I've shared this with you before, but we forget. And so we need to be reminded again and again. And I have no problem reminding you, because this is important stuff to be reminded about. So the 2 ways that we cover over our basic goodness are the veils of conflicting emotions And that's our ideas about things, our ideas that there were some really good ones this morning. So I'll have no problems bringing humor to this. The really good ones, like, my mother should love me. Everybody should get along. These are our ideas and beliefs about things. People shouldn't get angry. I should be a nice person all the time. that's a nice belief. These, and then we have core beliefs too, and they cover over our basic goodness, and we start to identify with those, and we start to think that that's who we are, right? Okay, here's this belief: I should be a nice person all the time. Oh, well, what happens when I'm not a nice person? Well, that's going to cause a lot of suffering, right? That's going to be really super hard. And what happens is, through our meditation, we start to see through these kind of core beliefs. Melissa should be a nice person all the time. Oh, well, sometimes Melissa isn't a nice person. Well, there's some perforation, and there can be some compassion for those times that I'm not a nice person. That starts to perforate. And this, we get caught up in this core belief or ideas about how things should be. We get triggered, our mind takes off, it runs off with this narrative, and we get caught up with our idea about how things should be. I should always be nice, or people should always get along, or my mother should love me, or core belief, we're going to get into one. And we get caught up in it. And when we start to practice our meditation, we start to poke holes in these beliefs. And then we can start to see through them and see that they're not really so solid. So the core belief that I wanted to talk about in our culture, one of the core beliefs, one of the bad to good ones, is that to be spiritual or to be connected to your true nature is that you need to be perfect or healthy or pain-free. And this is a core belief that's really been rubbing me the wrong way. And it's really not true. There's this kind of core belief in our culture that if you were in touch with your true nature, you wouldn't be ill or in pain. And, this is absolute bullshit. The core belief that the only kind of well-being worth having is physical health, and that the only way we can be connected to our true self when we are healthy is just absolute malarkey. You are not a failure if you are in pain. You are not a failure if you are ill. You're not a failure if you have chronic illness. You're not a failure if you're not perfect all the time. You're not a failure if you mess up. You're not a failure if you get angry. You're not a failure if you're not nice. Right now we're talking about the core belief around physical health, and this being somehow there's been this connection in our culture that, well, that means that's one of the indicators that you're a spiritual person. But it's not true. Physical health is not the be all and end all touchstone for spiritual, enlightenment. When physical health is not present, when you're in pain, when you're experiencing discomfort or fatigue, it's not that you become disconnected from your true nature. It's not that you've done something wrong or you're unworthy. It's just that you're unwell. It's just that you're in pain. It's just that you're experiencing fatigue. The situation is just that. And there are a lot of charlatans out there selling snake oil disguised as wisdom. And this is actually alienating you from your true self. It disconnects you from the openness of what is actually happening in the present moment and any possibility of self-compassion, self-nurturing. And in its place, come in feelings of guilt and shame and inner violence, and it's just not right. And so we need to have clarity. We need to be clear that this is a false core belief that is held by our culture. And it will free us to be open to our experience as it is. And when we are, okay, I've got some pain today. Okay, I'm not feeling well today. Okay, I'm tired today. That's experience as it is. That's the connection to our true nature, something that we're never separate from. So don't ever beat yourself up for what's happening in your body. Just don't do it. It's never worth it. It's not worth it. As Reggie Ray says, don't judge. And as Pema Chodron says, be gentle with yourself. Our true nature is open. Our true nature really doesn't care what we go through. It's open to our life as it arises. It's open to pain. It's open to discomfort. It's open to fatigue. It's open to it all without judgment. And this is the way of peace. This is the way of awakening. And this is a way of deep self-kindness. This is the way of becoming our own best friend and opening to our own present situation with tenderness, with kindness, with freshness, right? Not with all these stories about how things should be and shouldn't be, with curiosity, what's really happening, and courage. We don't have to be anything than what we really are. We spoke a little bit about that before we pressed record. We don't have to change or fix ourselves. There's nothing to change or fix. We simply open to what is, what's true for us. So, this talk is timely, not only because of what's been going on. I've been seeing this in the forum, and the things kind of bubble all up at the same time. But over the last week, yesterday was day 5 of a migraine, and it was like tons of stories, right? This shouldn't be happening. I should be able to look after this. I'm a yoga teacher. I shouldn't be in this much pain. I should be able to get out of this, right? All those stories, right? And finally, yesterday, complete surrender, right? Open to the situation. My nervous system is completely fried. I can't do this anymore. I've been in pain for 5 days. I can't handle any stimulus anymore. I can't handle light, can't handle sound, can't handle eating. This can't go on, right? That's openness. Then the tenderness comes in. I need to do something. I need help. I need to go for acupuncture Sunday afternoon. I bet that community acupuncture place is open. Call them up. Are you open? Do you have appointments? Yes. Can I come in? Yes. Great. Get a treatment. Go in, see an acupuncturist. He asks me where the pain is. I'm like, I can't even feel pain anymore. My nervous system is so fried. Please just do something to my nervous system. Puts the needles in. My nervous system goes, shoo, right? Open, tender, knows intuitively what to do, responsive. Do it without judgment or reservation, right? That was it. 5 days of suffering to get to open. That's how it goes. We're all human, right? But, and it's so interesting because right now there's a lot going on in my life. We've been connecting really closely with this really funky, cool health food store that's just down the street from us, and they want to collaborate with us and they want to give us products. And I'm like, well, I really just want to focus in on adrenal support and nervous system support, and really focusing on products that help people with self-love and self-care. And that's what people need, and they've just been like bringing things forward and connecting me with great people, and really making it happen over the last, like, it just all of a sudden the last 48 hours totally been happening. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like the dark moon. What's happening? It feels like a full moon. So much going on. And when this has been happening, I've been like, okay, this is crazy, because I'm going to have to start speaking the truth of the story a little bit more, right? I'm going to have to start speaking about the fatigue, about the pain, about the overstimulation that happens in the culture in my own story a little bit more, right? So that's all been coming to the foreground. And just how much the other story is so prevalent. And this other voice needs this other side of the story needs a voice, because we are always whole and we're always unconditionally valuable. That's our true nature. It's not good or bad to get to good. We're not an individual to blame for our health failing, our emotional turmoil, or our body for being in pain. What's up? You've just taken my, okay. What we are is more profound and more simple than any kind of thinking that we have about ourselves, any kind of image that we have about ourselves that we put in our small thinking mind. And our true nature knows that these core beliefs, that these self-images, these self-definitions just are not true. Our true nature is spacious enough, it's loving enough, and it's open enough not to harden against, not to tighten against any of these kind of beliefs or stories we tell ourselves with judgment or blame. And we can truly trust the open and direct experience of our lives. And when we do, there's tremendous relief and freedom in all of this. So that's what I wanted to share with you this week. So I'm going to open up the lines with you now. And so you can respond to that.
Melissa, I feel as if you're talking about something very important that I have a glimpse of comprehension of. And so it's something I don't fully grasp yet. I can think of instances where I totally agree with the thought that I am weighting myself down with my reaction to the situation. I can remember when I first started yoga again in recent past in like a classroom. And I literally was depressed at how little I could move certain parts of my body, because it had been maybe 10 years since I'd tried some of those things. And it really made me sad. And I felt bad at that point. But then eventually, as you can guess how yoga would work, I worked through it and realized, but there's still so much I can do, and this part will get better. And if it doesn't, still so much I can do. And it became unimportant that I couldn't do what I'd been able to do before, or some days couldn't do what I'd done last week. And I see those kinds of, you could focus on the limitation, or you could focus on the all that's left. And the all that's left is the right place for focus. And I don't have the words for what you're trying to explain, but I have a glimmer of catching that truth.
Yeah, I think like the self-improvement thing is so seductive in yoga too, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be lying to you if I said I don't fall prey to it, because and this is where I feel like you know, when I spoke about needing my story to come forward more, this is a place where my story does need to come forward more, because I feel the pressure to improve my yoga, you know, to improve my endurance, to get better. And yet when I'm really listening to my body, you know, there are limitations on what I can do physically to keep my body within a homeostasis. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I've got an image. It's like doing the best dance you can do, but not trying while you're dancing to keep upping the choreography. In other words, be in the moment of doing a beautiful waltz. Don't try to be doing I forgot, Bob Fosse choreographed modern dance instead. Just enjoy the moment, the beauty of the moment. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be handstands.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with improving and doing handstands. But be where you are. Be where you are.
Unless when you're, you know, trying to like get stronger, and then it's like causing you to be ill, like sick, right? Mm-hmm. Then it is.
Yeah, and then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, well, that's the case for some people that are dealing with chronic illnesses, right? It's mm-hmm. just, it's too much. Mm-hmm. So that's where you need to really pay attention to your nervous system, to your adrenals, and all of that. And I think that's, and you know, I'm not alone in that.
Something just funny just happened. The tweets show on my screen when I'm watching this video. And when you mentioned chronic fatigue syndrome, someone I know with chronic fatigue tweet just went across the screen I mean, at the same time.
Yeah.
Just funny, I mean. But you've made an emphasis on the nonviolence, the aspects of nonviolence. Dieting is a great example. Dieting exactly. is a great violent approach of not accepting who you are, how to be kind to yourself, but just beating yourself over the head until you fail and fail and fail, which never makes anything better. It makes you miserable, but it doesn't make you healthier or thinner. Mm-hmm. So that nonviolence is huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to add. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Emery.
Yes. We're talking about like the self-improvement part of it. As we do more and more of the somatic meditations, and I tune more and more into my body, I start to realize that often when I'm doing a self-improvement project that's someone else's belief, whether it's a cultural belief or someone else's, it's not actually coming from me. That's when I find that pain arises, or striving, or if I actually listen to my body, I can actually discern this isn't actually me who's doing this. I'm doing it because of what people think about me, or because it's expected, or because of a label. But when I drop that and I tune into my body, then I can start to discern what I'm actually doing because my true nature wants to do it, and what I'm doing because of society, family, cultural conditionings. And even although sometimes I'll say, well, this isn't mine, you know, this is a family belief or it's a cultural belief, I will still do it because I still, you know, like, because it's so entrenched.
So strong. Yeah. So strong.
It's so strong. And at the moment, I was over in the UK because my elderly parents, my dad's not very well. And I've been grasping with the whole being there for them and helping them, but dropping that good girl label because I'm always there and it's expected of me. So it's getting the balance between being there for them, but not doing it because of the good girl label, but doing the bits actually that I feel that are coming from an open and tender heart and not from expectation. And that sort of meant that, you know, I've had to sort of say to my husband when I came back, you know, at the moment, emotionally, you know, I'm just, you know, I can't take any more. And while I want to do this for my mom and dad to be able to do that, emotionally, I have to let some other things go and make space for it and do a bit more self-care, you know. So today, this afternoon, I'm going for a massage. So I'm really conscious of the fact at the moment, but even on a daily basis, you know, there's so many little stories that, you know, I'm drawn into, and I'll see the story, and sometimes I can get, and then sometimes, you know, the story's running, and, you know, like little things like, whether I call my mom and dad every day or not doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things. But I noticed that in the time, with the time difference that I call them, is when we're winding down between 5 and 7, we're coming in from the farm, you know, we're having a shower. So the first week I was back, you know, I called them every night because it was expected, you know, I was a good girl. That's what I should do if I love my mom and dad. What's 10 minutes out my day? But by the end of the week, I just noticed that the stress on my body of that was too much. And often when I called them, what they were saying was not what I would expect. And when I was trying to be open to the experience, it was still, you know. So then I had to say to myself, well, for my own self-love, and so that I can actually be there for them and be there for them in a nurturing way, I've had to say, well, I'll only call every second or third day. So yeah, so this is, through the somatic and being open to the bodies, it's letting me realise quicker when I'm caught up in a story and quicker when it's someone else's belief, but I still can't always, you know, stop it, or sometimes I still choose to go ahead with the action even although I can feel it's detrimental to my body.
And that's being human. That's we're human beings, right?
Yeah. But I'm also aware of that. So, you know, when I start to beat myself up, you know, I say that this whole journey that we're all on together, and all about, you know, every emotion's just a range of emotions, and experiencing them and not putting our stories on them. They're all helping me go through what I'm going through. It's still, you know, emotional roller coaster like this, but I think my roots in my tree is probably a bit stronger, so it can probably wave around a bit more. Whereas maybe a couple of years ago, if I was going through all of this, I would have just snapped. Yeah. So, and it's really helping me. You feel all these things, like, you know, you feel anger, you feel happiness, you feel them, but they are what they are. They're just emotions, and they're not good, they're not bad. They're just a range of emotions. So that's helping a lot. I'd like to be back in the sector again. Why?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. Hi. Nice to see you all again.
Likewise.
What did I miss?
You missed the talk, so I'll just check in and see if Maria or Delia wanted to respond to the talk, and then we're going to do meditation.
I was going to say that as being a full-time caretaker, emotions are, as she said, roller coaster, and sometimes you can't control them. They just take a hold of you, and that's it. The other thing I've noticed lately, because of trying to suppress the stress, I've noticed a memory issue right now, and it's getting to be concerning. The forgetfulness and the distraction and the focus, it's impeding a lot of, you know, functioning, and I'm concerned about it. So I've been trying to meditate longer and do, you know, the 3 minutes self scan, and but still it's profound, and that's why the somatic meditation really helps, in that you focus more on your body and self-care. But still, it gets to me, and I understand your plight in not knowing what to do, being there or not being there. Just be with yourself. That's what I personally try to do. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it took a horrible toll on me. And I'm exhausted, and I'm in pain, and I'm depressed, and now memory issues. But I think all of that contributes to that. And so don't let and like Emery said, it's very difficult to navigate all of those emotions of frustration, inability to help, or being there constantly. Sometimes, I even forget whether I took a shower or I had breakfast or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So just to have to come back to my body again.
Mm.
I don't have any wisdom, but in my personal experience, I try to be very aware of limits and set them, because I have limits, and not recognizing them is not going to work for anybody. But if I recognize them and set them, then somebody may not understand why I am or am not doing something, but I wouldn't have been able to accomplish it anyway. I mean, I'm literally limited. And so trying to stay in touch with the reality is probably my favorite coping mechanism. But these are the tough problems of life. They don't have easy solutions. They do have time frames, but they don't have easy solutions. And, self-care and yoga's role in that is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm also, speaking of limitations, I'm also reminded of, the limitations of yoga and meditation. It's not the be all and end all, and that we do need to reach out for third-party care too, especially when we feel like we're really floundering. Like Anne-Marie said, she's going for a massage tomorrow.
This
afternoon. And, we can't do it all on our own. I couldn't have gotten out of the pain cycle without having some kind of intervention, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we feel like we're floundering, and it's really hard because we get so caught in that like little spot of like, it's just, you get caught in that kind of wheel of, and there's not that kind of spaciousness. But those are the times when that third party help is most helpful, to reach out for it and to see, to get the support that you need. Yeah. Because, Donna makes these t-shirts that say yoga makes everything better, and I hate wearing them because it's not true. Right? It can't solve all your problems. It just can't, right?
But it helps.
It can help, right?
It helps.
But like this, like the whole point of the talk was like, every single yoga teacher I had has died of cancer. It doesn't make you immune to anything, right?
Or the pain or anything else.
Or the pain or the emotional ups and downs of life or relationship issues. Like it doesn't put you in a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're still going to experience life. Lindsay, you always show up for these zingers of a talks. I swear to God, we do talk about nice things sometimes too.
So heavy.
You do show up for the heavy ones. Why is that?
I'm attracted to the heavy stuff. I live the heavy life. I deal with heavy stuff too, so I feel at home.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I think like your talk today, Melissa, and like the whole teachings that you're giving us, it's helping me be aware of the fact that, you know, like just as you summarized there, like for me and everything I'm going through just now, like, you know, maybe 10 years ago when I started yoga, I was like, oh yeah, you do yoga, you roll out your yoga mat, and then, you know, life's good, and then, you know, nothing happens to you, you're happy all the time, emotions don't come along, and, you know, life's great. And now that I'm actually going through like all these different things, you know, it's like I'm open to them, and I've got like the tools to be, you know, aware of them. And I realize now that, as you said, it's just part of life. It's just part of life unfolding. It's what I'm here to experience. And just as I'm going through, like, you know, each of the steps of the things unfolding, I'm probably, you know, a little more aware of them, but it doesn't make it any easier in the sense that the emotions are still there. And I think that's what I love about our yoga community, is that, you know, you're teaching us that, yeah, we're here to live life, and not that yoga teaching that was out there 10 years ago that, yeah, yoga makes everything better. You do yoga and then you're just blissful all the time.
Yeah, you're vaccinated against life.
Yeah.
And it's not that I mean, there are, and you will have periods of great joy and love and bliss and peace. And when those times come along, yeah, just ride the wave, baby. It's awesome. Just ride that wave. It's gorgeous and beautiful. You'll be in love with everybody and everything.
And, you know, and I still have them, even though I'm going through all this
even when you're in, yes,
all of that, and throughout the day there's, you know, the highs, the lows, but it's
totally
not accepting that life is all the high, and being able to talk about all the emotions and all the things that's going on and treating them equally, because they're all just energy and just part of life.
Yeah, like we really need to throw out this value system of this is good and this is bad.
Yeah, they're just energy, you know, just different forms. And yeah, but as you say, it goes back to that cultural conditioning.
Yes.
There's a lot of people don't feel comfortable about you talking about things if they're not in a certain range of the emotional spectrum. Yeah,
because I've just heard recently, you know, if you're not feeling this way, then you're out of alignment. No, sorry. You need to be feeling this way all the time. No.
I read somewhere the other day, and it really hit me hard, and it was about breaking through that. Life is meant to, you're supposed to burst through, break through, like everything in nature and in life. Look at a chicken coming out of an egg. Like you push through everything. It's supposed to break you down. You're supposed to push through. That's life. That's what we're meant to do. That's what causes us to make changes, learn, live deeper, live stronger. It breaks us down in the most beautiful way. It's meant to break us down. It's meant to push us through hard spots. That's what, if you look around us, I take a lot of pictures of flowers. When the bulb head's there, if you look at a poppy, it breaks the shell before it opens up and becomes a flower. We have to push through. We're meant to push through these hard places. And I think it's all part of life. And as hard as it is, we're meant to do it. So we can do it. We're meant to. That's how I see it. So not easy and all that, but I think it's just normal. It's normal stuff.
Yeah, we can open to it too, to all of it.
Yeah.
So, Maria, did you want to check in?
That's okay.
Okay. All right. So let's do some meditation then. Go ahead and lie down on your back. So you're going to lie on your backs with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Your elbows resting on the ground. You want your low back to be comfortable, your inner thighs to be comfortable, your neck, your shoulders to be comfortable. And just notice what it feels like to rest on the earth here. Feeling a sense of support and stability underneath you. And then open to your body, open to sensations in your body. Notice where you feel tightness. Notice any tension. And just notice the support of gravity underneath you, and see how gravity starts to invite that tension to release down into the earth. So your body's actually melting into the earth. And feel this process of your body, the kind of unwinding and releasing and relaxation that just naturally happens as you lie down on your back here. And then very gently and very slowly, no rush at all, you're going to open your awareness into your feet, into your whole lower legs, your knees, your ankles, your shin bones, your calves. Just open your awareness to the sensations in your lower legs, opening to the tension. Opening to any tightness or holding on. And then notice how this tension doesn't stay the same, it's fluid. And feel the tension melting, dissolving, flowing downwards into the earth. And you may feel other parts of your body beginning to relax, release, and let go, and you can follow that. Just let go. And then you come to your buttocks. And feel their connection with the earth. Let them soften. Open your awareness to your pelvic bowl, the bones of your pelvis, your hip bones, your hip sockets. Open to the tension. And let that tension go, let it flow downwards into the earth. Become aware of your psoas muscle, your inner thighs, your upper leg bones, your hamstrings. So taking your whole upper leg from your knees down through your thighs into your pelvis, letting all the tension flow down through your pelvis, through the buttocks into the earth. And then opening your awareness into your mid-back. Feeling the tightness in your mid-back. Opening your awareness into your entire torso. Your organs, your belly, up through your chest. feeling the tension, feeling the tightness, and allowing it to dissolve down through your torso, through your rib cage. Let it dissolve downward into the earth. And then feel your shoulder blades on the earth. Feel their connection with the ground underneath you. And feeling the tension up through your shoulder blades, just behind your shoulder blades, into your shoulder joints, up through your upper chest, your collarbones, opening to the tension. And then letting it all melt down through your upper back and into the earth. Feel your elbows heavy on the ground. And then open your awareness into your hands, the joints of your fingers, the backs of your hands, the fronts of your hands, your wrists, your forearms. Let all that tension flow down through your fingers, through your elbows, down through your wrists and into the earth. And then open your awareness into your shoulder joints, feeling the tension through your shoulders. And let it release down through your upper arms, through your elbows, and into the earth. And then finally your head, opening to the tightness in your face, your temples, your scalp, tightness in your brain, musculature, your bones. Feeling the tension around your temples, your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows. The tension in your brain. And then let it dissolve down through the back of your head and into the earth. And then you're going to open to all 10 points. Your 2 feet, your 2 buttocks, your 2 elbows, your 2 shoulder blades, and your head. And as you breathe in, open to the tension in your body. And as you breathe out, allow it to release and let go. Breathe in, be present throughout your body. Feel the tension, feel the density, feel the tightness. Breathe out and just let it all go. Breathe in, feel your body, feel its tension. Breathe out, let the tension go, let it dissolve down and into the earth. Now on the in-breath, you're going to feel the tension in your body. And then on the out-breath, follow the tension as it lets go. Follow it down into the earth underneath you. Breathe in, feel the tension. Breathe out, follow the tension down into the earth underneath you. Breathe in, feel whatever tension is in your body. Breathe out, let go of the tension, let it flow down into the earth. And each time you breathe out, you relax a little bit more fully. Each time you breathe out and let go, you release a little bit further, your body relaxes a little bit more, your body opens a little bit more. And as you release tension, your body opens, and you can start to sense the space of the earth underneath you, not in the way that you learned about it in school, like rocks and dirt and geology, but feeling the earth from the inside, the same way you just felt your body from the inside. So let your body feel into the earth. Stay with the feeling, stay with the felt sensation of the earth. So you breathe in, feel into the tension of your body. And then you follow the tension down into the earth and you let the tension lead you down. Feel the pull of gravity. And then the next time you breathe out, you let your awareness stay in the earth underneath you. And then you just continue to drop and open. So breathing out, dropping and opening, descending and opening. So you're opening your awareness downward, letting go of any kind of boundaries underneath you in the earth. You keep descending and opening each time you breathe out. So each time you breathe out, your somatic awareness, that is the way you're feeling from the inside, is opening to a deeper level. Still your body is still your felt sense that's opening. So your body's opening to the earth underneath you, very gently descending down. And notice the feeling of relief as you do this. So when we are stuck in our tiny little minds, going over our stories again and again, stuck with our core beliefs, we have a very restricted, closed off sense of self. And right now, as we do this meditation, we're being invited to let that go. And just feel how your body feels when it opens its awareness bigger into this bigger, more open, more vast, spacious awareness of the earth. Notice how when you're more open in this way, how your awareness feels more at home. It doesn't feel so restricted, like when you're in your tiny little thinking space of your mind trying to figure everything out. So each time you breathe out, you're dropping and opening, dropping and opening, descending on and on. Your awareness is getting bigger and bigger. And you're not leaving your body on the surface behind. You're opening the awareness of your body to deeper and deeper levels. You dissolve the boundary on the backside of your body. And the backside of your body on the surface is experiencing the full measure and depth of the earth. And as you're descending, you can sense or notice if you feel like there's a holding back or you might run into a boundary. Just feel that in the same way that you would feel tension in your big toe. Feel into it, feel the boundary. Notice that it's fluid, just like tension in your body, and that it can dissolve and then you can let go and fall further. So you just fall through it. So you notice when you run into a boundary, you can notice when you stop descending, and then you can open further. So it's normal to run into obstacles or to start thinking about things, maybe even visual images of rocks or things you learned about in school. And you just let those go. Open through the obstacles and let your awareness keep going down, opening down and down. And it's very gentle. You're just allowing your awareness, your embodied awareness, your body's intuitive feeling to open. And sense in yourself a longing to go deeper, to connect with the earth in this way. So find in yourself a longing for the depth of the earth. And you're just going to keep surrendering and letting go. Let yourself be called into the depths. And when you do this practice, you may notice feelings of tenderness, feelings of soreness, feelings of excitement in your heart, that kind of longing. And it's completely normal. Just let yourself feel those feelings as you descend more, as you feel more and more open. You're opening your whole body. You're opening your whole state of being to deeper and deeper levels. So feel in your body the depth of the earth and let the depth of the earth touch your body. Be in contact with the earth as your awareness continues to descend. And notice that as you descend, your body can relax to deeper and deeper levels. The deeper you are in the earth, the more completely relaxed your body can be. And as you continue to descend, notice how the space of the earth feels. Notice how it feels in your body. Notice how it feels in your heart as you open deeper and deeper. Notice that the space of the earth is warm. Notice that it touches you deeply, and that there's something about the space that makes you want to go deeper and deeper. There's a sense of warmth. There's a sense of home. And the space feels very protective. And you just want to hang out in the depths of the earth here. So you can fall into it, let go completely, just be in the depths underneath you. Just let go, let your body completely relax. Notice what it feels like. And then open the back of your body so fully that the warmth of the earth, that the love of the earth can flood your body fully. Just imagine that you're opening your skin, you're opening your muscles, you're opening your deep tissues, you're opening your organs, you're opening your heart, you're opening all of your bones, all of your cells. You're opening your psyche, you're opening your emotions, so that the warmth, the nurturing, the love, the abundance of life that is the earth's love can flood your body. And just let your body be flooded as you open deeper and deeper and deeper. And just feel how you're not separate at all. Feel how you're in the most peaceful, blissful, and beautiful union with the earth and her energy right now. And keep inviting that warmth and love and healing of the earth into your body. Keep letting it flood the back of your body, especially the parts that feel traumatized, including the areas of your psyche and emotions. Let the healing balm of the earth bathe you and soothe you and heal you. And then you're going to take your time and slowly make your way back to our circle. Okay, so I think that might have been, I just wanted to check in on this and give you a chance to check in if there are any questions or comments about that meditation, because I think it may have been, for some of you, first time with Earth Descent, or maybe just first time that we've been together doing Earth Descent. So I'll just open it up to see if there are any questions or comments or questions about practice in general.
I like the connecting to the earth. That was new for me because I haven't been here for a while. It resonates with me, so I like that a lot. I think that's where a lot of healing is, in the energy of the earth. And I always think of the Tesla car that plugs into to get its energy. I think that's what we need to connect to as well. Just really where I like it. I like it a lot.
Today was my first time doing Earth Descent at the live class, but I've been doing it at home over the last couple of weeks. And I find that for me, it feels like really natural, and I can feel like, you know, that pull of gravity. But that was lovely today, what we did, like the actual like energies of the earth coming out and washing right into our body and going right into, like, you know, the muscles and the fibers, and just feeling that all coming up as well as what was coming down. That felt really healing for me today, and it was just where I needed it. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Like you, Anne Marie, I liked the meditative part of the energy flowing through the body and the relaxation of it. I don't actually feel like I'm sinking, but I do feel like I'm deeply relaxing to something else. that's what it feels like to me. But today, it almost felt like someone was holding my hands, two different people, each hand, and that was very brief. and then that went away, but it felt very companionable. And toward the end of it, I had a little trouble staying down. I was having trouble with the position of my head, finding the comfortable position for my head and my neck. And I tried about 3 or 4 different angles on that one, and finally put a pill under my neck. But I don't know, my monkey brain may have just been trying to distract me with my neck at that point. I did enjoy the meditation.
Yeah, it's hard when you're uncomfortable. Yeah, don't stay with the felt sense of it, right? That's.
Yeah, I can't, if I go rational with it, it
Yeah.
doesn't work at all for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know way too much geology. So,
Yeah.
I just have to stay with the sense of things.
Yeah.
The feeling
think-
very relaxed and sinking into the relaxation. I get that.
I think scientists really struggle with this meditation.
Mm.
Neil was saying he had one of the scientists in his class. We're always talking about ways to do earth descent, and one of the scientists in his class would follow the smell of sulfur down into.
Sulfur.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if that works for you, Betsy. Just that, that was he knew.
No, I'm not following sulfur anyway.
I was like, okay, that's a little weird.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, I think staying with the felt sense of it, because you feel the way you describe the energy, you're there.
Yeah, I'm feeling something.
Yeah, that's where I kind of felt that shift with earth descent, was when I stopped trying to do it and I just started feeling it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time I've actually felt any more openness along the long axis of my back in terms of opening up to the earth descent. When you were doing that part about having the energy come into the body, that I was with you for that, as opposed to bobbing up and down or chasing my monkey brain.
I love that part. It's just such a beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our bodies are just craving it, right? There's the longing, right, to connect. And we're just so ready. And that right there, wherever our logical mind or our thinking mind or whatever is like, oh, I'm not down deep enough, right? Then it doesn't matter where we are. It's just like, there it is.
Mhm.
And you're flooded and you're loved and you're nurtured and you're healed and it's all there. Do you notice that as soon as we get to that part?
Yeah, I noticed that today completely, because I didn't feel like I was going down at all. I just felt like I was on the surface, and all of a sudden when you said that, I had all this sensation of feeling of all this warmth coming into my body. It was great. And I was there, so.
Yeah, so you're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what's.
Yeah,
we're just trying way too hard, thinking way too much. Yeah.
the more I don't think about it, the easier it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody.
Mhm.
Appreciate your presence here today. It's good to see everybody. What's your dog's name, Delia?
Oh, Lily. Her name
She's
is
cute.
Lily's
What a cute
wonderful.
dog.
Lily. Yeah, we rescued her about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, she's new.
She's new.
So cute.
She's asking me to go out for a walk.
Okay, well, you better go. Okay, nice to see everybody. And
Okay.
we'll see you next week. Maria and Michelle are going to be running the class next week while I'm camping in Strathcona. Right, Maria?
Uh-oh.
It'll be wonderful. Okay, see you in a couple of weeks, but I'll see you on the forum.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.